Hey, it's Kai. So far our code has run straight through, top to bottom, like a train on one track. Today we teach it to make choices, which is where programming starts feeling alive. By the end you'll write code that reacts differently depending on what's true. Think about your morning. If it's raining, you grab an umbrella, otherwise you don't. That little sentence is exactly what a conditional is. In short, a conditional is code that only runs when something is true. Let me translate the jargon before we use it. A condition is just a question that answers yes or no, like is it raining? A boolean is that answer, spelled true or false in Python. And a branch is simply one of the roads your code can drive down. Here's the plainest version. We ask if temp is greater than 30, and only if that's true does the hot message print. Notice the colon at the end of the line, and how the print is pushed to the right. That indent is Python's way of saying this line belongs inside the if. So what if the condition is false? That's what else is for, it's the other road. Here age is 15, so the first check fails, and we take the else road, printing minor. Only one of the two ever runs, never both. Real life often has more than two options, so we use elif, which just means else if. Python checks each from the top, and stops at the first one that's true. Score is 82, so it skips the A test, hits the B test, prints B, and ignores the rest. Here's a trap I want you to see. 95 deserve an A, but because the loose 70 check sits on top, it grabs the win first and prints C. The A branch never even gets a chance. In short, put your strictest conditions first, or an easy test will swallow everything. Here's the trick that surprises beginners. Python lets you put almost any value where a yes or no goes, and it decides for you. Empty text, the number 0, and empty list count as false. Everything else counts as true. So an empty name here quietly takes the else road, no comparison needed. Let me just list the Falsy crew so you can memorize them once. False, none, 0, empty string, empty list, and empty dictionary. Run bool on anything to see how Python judges it. In short, if it's empty or 0, it's falsy, otherwise it's truthy. Okay, confession time. Early on I wrote a single equals inside an if and spent way too long staring at it. 1 equals means store this value. 2 equals means compare these values. Thankfully Python throws a clear error here instead of silently doing the wrong thing, which honestly saved me from myself. Sometimes a decision only makes sense after another one passed. Think of a locked building. First you get through the front door, then you check if your key opens the admin room. That's nesting, and if living inside another if, and each level gets its own indent. Here we're logged in, but not admin, so we land on user home. Here's the honest comparison. Deep nesting checks steps one at a time, but drifts far to the right and gets hard to read. Using and flattens 2 checks into one clean line, which is usually nicer. My rule of thumb, reach for and when the answer is a plain yes or both, and only nest when each layer truly needs its own separate handling. These 3 little words let you build richer questions. It needs both sides true, or is happy with just one side, and not simply flips the answer around. 25 sits between 20 and 30, so it's comfortable. And it's also not too hot. Let's tie it together. If runs code when a condition is true, else catches everything else, and elif stacks extra choices in between. Remember that empty and 0 are falsy. Order your branches strict to loose, and prefer and over deep nesting when you can. You just gave your programs the power to choose. Keep shipping. See you tomorrow.